people in after. I can see it, just like you. Right. Who else is there? Oh, can we make that? There we go. Oh, everybody's joining. Yay! Are you drinking already? Colorado, Ohio. Let's see. Yeah, mostly Colorado and Ohio, and then we have some Nevada friends and Arizonans, of course. Thank you so much. We're super excited you're here. I'm gonna make a formal introduction as soon as most everybody is signed in. I see that a lot of people are signing in right now. Are you sipping already? We are. Oh, there's Livette and Maria and Veronica. Yeah. I should remember that. That's my nephew's wife's name. Oh, Veronica. Oh, Cheryl and Dad. All right, Brian and Sandy. Kristen. This is great. Oh, that's what I did the whole time. My very first, okay, so I'm gonna give you who are signed in already a little secret. Of course, I was extremely nervous. I'm always nervous, you know, I'm not a roving camera fan. All of my clients know I like, you know, but a little portion of my head and a selfie, you know, and all of that kind of stuff. And so the very first virtual wine tasting I did, I literally sat here the whole time and swirled 45 minutes.
That's what I do.
Oh my gosh. But you know, when you're not used to being on video, you know, it's a little bit nerve-wracking.
And I'm a little nerve-wracked.
Yeah. This is Adienne's first time, so tell her how great she's doing, everybody. So oh, it's great. So as most of you know, because a lot of you have done virtuals with us during COVID, that big C word, and it's so long ago now, we almost forgot about virtual tastings until we just got a whole bunch of these ports in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and not just the ports, but like the bubbly and the new rosé and white. So I'm like, let's do it virtual. It's been a long time, you know. So I'm so glad you're all here. It's really good. All right, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people signed in. How many do we have? Sip, swirl, and sip.
Swirl and sip.
Snip, swirl, and sip. Because we don't spit. That's alcohol abuse.
That is.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So we only drink. And you know, it's bad luck. Whoops, whoops, not to sip after you cheers. So
right.
Always sip. And you can sip even when you're not cheering.
That's true. That's true.
But if you've ever been on one of the tours with me, we cheers all the time. I've had people say, okay, Liza, it's getting like cheersing to life, right? I mean, we're
Enjoying your life.
Your best time for sure. On a tour, drinking wine, you know, in a vineyard with a winemaker.
No better place to be.
Yeah. So we have one more room on our yacht if you want to go to Greece this summer.
Okay.
Yeah. You're in my room. So how we doing? Do we have most everybody? I think it's been a few minutes since some people signed in, and it's 11:02. So for those fashionably late, you know, that's okay. They can just join in. Well, welcome everybody. We're super excited you're here today. Adienne and I, if you haven't met Adienne, she's been working with us for about 6 months now, but we've been friends for about, I don't know, 12 or something years, you know.
Yeah.
And we met through wines, believe it or not, you know, through these wines.
The best place to meet.
Yeah. What do you call the Merlot?
World's Best Merlot Suite.
Yep, that's the code, WBMS.
Because all of our wines are coded for office purposes. So
Yep.
yes, I call it the World's best Merlot sweet.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure most of you have had that. I know several of you on that list right there have had the Merlot in the red bottle. Today, we're not going to have that Merlot, but first I want to say cheers and welcome to Sip into Spring. Oh my gosh, you have to sip. So today we're going to start with the bubbling Merlot from Germany. And I haven't opened ours yet because I wanted to kind of point out, which you've probably already noticed if you haven't opened it already, that it's not a typical like champagne. Well, it's a champagne stopper, but it doesn't have the cage. So, you know, I just move the rope or whatever off to the side, and then you actually have to open it with a wine opener because the cork doesn't stick out as far as the typical champagne cork. And the good thing is that I can open it like this and I'm not going to hit a D because it's not a typical champagne bottle. And I don't know if you know, but you know, in order to be called champagne, it actually has to be from the Champagne region of France.
Woo!
Oh, woo! Yeah, that's what we say every time.
Every time we talk about
Can I pour you some?
Yes, please.
All right, we just love this one. Oh my goodness. And so I'm going to switch glasses here and we're going to have a little bubbles. And then we're going to toast to all of you for being here today. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have a lot of fun, drink some wine, and maybe learn a little something in the meantime too. So, cheers. We have to sip. Cheers. I hope we toasted with you as well. I hope you just took a sip. This one we absolutely love. Like I said, this is made from our Merlot in the red bottle, if you've ever had that one before. And then it goes through a second fermentation, which they add
Sugar and yeast.
yeah, sugar and yeast, and leave it in the tank or in the bottle for quite some time in order to develop that extra bubble. That's where you get the bubble. Effervescent. Very good.
Yeah.
Effervescent. Yeah. And which makes it very fresh in the finish. And as a matter of fact, I was talking to Philip, and you all know Christopher if you've joined some of our Zooms back in the day, where we had some of the German wines and all of that. And Philip is Christopher's brother. They're both co-winemakers with Bechtel Fry. And the thing is that, you know, they took over from Hans Otto Becker, like, oh gosh, I don't know, it's been like 10 years or so now. I don't know. Christopher was like 19, 17, and yeah, so around 10 years or so ago. This is the one you should be drinking. There's the QR code. There's going to be a QR code on every wine if you want to order it. And actually, because you're joining us today, you get $30 off on your orders by the case. So anybody who wants to order any wine, you get that extra special bonus.
That's a great deal.
Yeah, that's like getting a bottle for free.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
sure.
like buy 11, get one free, right?
Sure.
Cheers to
Cheers to
oh,
that.
that means we have to drink again. But the beautiful thing about this particular one, and is the fact that we have it. In Germany, he doesn't even have a single bottle. I texted him, and they're in the middle of, you know, working away, making the best wines for you. So you know, they're not real camera guys either. And so they're like, oh, Lisa, we can make a video, but or you know, but you're gonna see some pictures of Christopher and Philip. And there they are. That's Philip on the left, Christopher on the right. That's typical. Philip doing all the work and Christopher watching. Just kidding. But that's their wine cellar, and as a matter of fact, we just visited them at the Christmas market tour. Some of you were there. Cheryl and Doug were there, and who else is joining us today that was on the Christmas market tour? Oh, Brian and nope, not Brian and Sandy. I think that's it for this group. But anyway, if you've ever been to Germany, and actually Brian and Sandy were on the very first German tour in 2014, and we went to the winery. I know our tour started in 2013, but Philip told me that we have all the bottles. There's not a single bottle left in Germany, which is a little bit scary because once it's gone here, then it's gone for forever until they make it again. One of the things, one of the ways that they make this is they use the younger vines for the with the German Merlot. Okay. And so when you have a young vine that's only 5 or 6 years old, it produces a lighter fruit and a little less concentration, and so it's perfect for a sparkling because you add the second fermentation. You do the second fermentation in order to get those bubbles. You want a lighter juice, you know, to start with, and so this is perfect in the lighter juice. And anyway. And these brothers have taken over from Hans Otto, who is in his mid-80s now. Forgive me, Hans Otto. Not quite there, but I think he is. Anyway, and they have taken over all of the production, all of the winemaking, and they're so innovative. You know, I hate to say it, but us old dogs, you know, we are kind of traditional, but the young people are doing so many more things, and it's so exciting to.
I like the caption on there. It said, the younger generation taking on traditional values.
Yeah.
I thought that was really.
Oh my gosh, you must have come up with that. I think Elisa, who is our IT girl today.
Upholding traditional values.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and it's so true,
Yeah.
you know, because
That's really cool.
yeah, because they do. They've created so many new styles. And back in the day when I started 22 years ago, I can't believe it. It was a single varietal in a a bottle of wine,
Mhm.
and no oak and all stainless, which is great for a lot of us who don't care for oak. Yes, exactly. You're changing though. Your palate a little bit.
I'm becoming more refined.
Oh, well, I think you're refined if you drink wine no matter what kind.
That's true,
right?
That's true.
So,
Anyway.
but the thing is that it's neat to experience these different styles,
Yeah.
whether you like oak or you don't like oak. You know, the great thing is that Christopher and Philip at Bechtel Price make whichever style you like.
Yeah.
So from very dry to very sweet,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So, yeah. What was your first wine?
The bubbly or the Merlot.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
world's best Merlot. Yep, that was my first one, and that got me hooked.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I think that's the one that hooks a lot of people.
Yeah,
or
definitely.
the Dornfelder back in the day before there was the Merlot.
right.
The Dorn-
We had the Dornfelder back when it was still in that red matte bottle
Oh,
with
yeah,
like
yeah.
the gold lettering.
The Red Obsession.
The red obsession is
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that was the
That was
Dornfelder
so
red. Yeah,
good.
yeah. Oh my gosh. I know the bottles make it so much fun. It's so crazy. We need to get back to those orange and yellow and fun.
That. Thank you.
Well, because people used to say, "Oh, I need the one in the orange bottle or
Right,
the red
right.
bottle." You know,
Yeah.
I mean, at least the Merlot is still in the
Yeah,
red
for
bottle.
sure. For
So,
sure.
so that's good. Oh my gosh. How's everybody like the bubbly? It's so nice. It has that little hint of sweetness to start with,
It does.
but then it doesn't finish sweet.
No, strawberry note.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the wine.
It pairs well with anything.
I like the way you do your food pairing. That is so good.
But yeah, strawberry, vanilla, maybe.
Vanilla,
Hints of vanilla.
Kind of reminds me, you know, I know this is crazy, but you know how wine just brings you back to all these different memories.
Yeah.
Of whether it's your child, when you were a bit younger or whatever. But it kind of reminds me of like a cherry or a watermelon Jolly Rancher.
Yes.
Have you ever?
Yes.
Where it's a little bit sweet, but a little bit
But
tart.
a little bit tart at the end. Yes,
Do you get that?
definitely.
That's fun. Drink up if you haven't already, or keep drinking if you have been drinking. You know, either way, you know, it's a wonderful Saturday afternoon. It's so crazy because we drove out from Arizona yesterday where it was in the 90s, and then we get to California and it's like in the 60s and 70s.
I have to put on a sweatshirt.
or two. It's so funny. Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, good. Well, I hope you're all enjoying that one. And did we do all the pictures of the vineyard, Lisa? Lisa? Okay, good. So, I know I saw Lisa. Alrighty, now we're gonna move on to the still rosé, which is considered, you know, when you have a regular wine that's not sparkling, we call it still. We started on this one last night, just to refresh our memories because, you know, we drink these wines all the time, but
Research purpose.
yeah, exactly. R&D.
Yeah,
R&D.
yeah. Research and development over here.
Exactly. So I already have a glass because actually we were refreshing our memory earlier today too. So anyway, if you haven't had some of this already, this is the Notas. And before I start talking about it, we're gonna play a video from Lorena. And if you've been, Deb, who is joining us today, she actually went to Bodegas Medieval in Spain. Gosh, I sound like
Oh,
that.
you
Back
did?
like
Yeah.
a long
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Bodegas Medieval. That's French. I know. But anyway, and so this is a winery that's organic and biodynamic. It's really quite fascinating. We're going to show some pictures for as well, so you see how these grapes are grown. because they're not on a trellis. They're in a short like stem, and not quite a bush vine, but not on the trellis either. And but let's watch the video and see what Lorena has to say about it.
Hi, Lisa, and all the friends of Pinera Wine Society. I'm so sorry I cannot be with you tonight, but at least I wanted to explain you a bit about us and our wines. And I hope next time I can maybe meet you there in USA or when you are visiting the winery. I'm Lorena from. Hi, Lisa, and all the friends of Pinera. I'm so sorry I cannot be with you tonight, but at least I wanted to explain you a bit about us and our wines. And I hope next time I can maybe meet you there in USA or when you are visiting the winery. I'm Lorena from Bodegas del Medievo. Bodegas del Medievo, it's a family-owned winery. It's a small company owned by 4 families of wine growers who has been producing wines for generations, producing grapes. But it was recently that they decided to start doing their own wines with their very old vineyards in their own style. And this is how we started producing some wines as the notas you will taste today with Lisa. It's a very special rosé for us. It's made from Tempranillo and Garnacha, the typical red varieties we have in Rioja. You have by one side the Garnacha, which was the most ancient variety here in Rioja, but it's blended with Tempranillo. So you have red fruits like strawberry, these kind of flavors from Garnacha, but blended with the licorice from Tempranillo, which make this wine very enjoyable to drink alone, but also to pair with food. It's fresh, nice acidity, and full of nice aromas and red fruits on the mouth. I hope you enjoy and see you next time.
Hope you understood everything she said.
Well, I feel like I can listen to her talk all day.
I know
love
it-
her accent.
It's just like
eloquent.
yeah.
It's very
It
nice.
sounds like a symphony,
Yes,
you know, in
yes,
a way. So,
yeah.
oh my gosh. So as she said, this is made from Tempranillo and Garnacha,
Mhm.
but mostly Tempranillo. The Garnacha adds a lot of fruit to it. Well, the Tempranillo does too. What's so interesting to me on this particular one is that we have 2 rosés from Medieval actually. And this one is more Tempranillo, which initially I thought that this was going to be much drier,
Mhm.
but I think it's a little bit fruitier, which
I think so too. And I think like we were talking about last night for research purposes, I enjoy it a little bit less than super, super cold. I feel like it brought out a lot more of the flavor
yeah.
when it was slightly chilled
Yeah.
instead of on ice, like how I would drink the bubbly.
That's a really good point because I had forgotten that. So like Aideen said, we had it like ice cold at first,
yeah.
and we lost a lot of that flavor, but yet it has that beautiful strawberry essence and maybe a little raspberry or
I get watermelon.
oh, watermelon, yeah. Oh yeah, the watermelon too. Oh my gosh. Any of those wonderful, light red fruits that bring out those kind of flavors. And yeah, ours is warmed up because we've had it out of the ice for about an hour or so, and I get a lot more flavor.
Me too. And it's perfect by the pool, with the bubbly, you would want it ice cold. So of course you're gonna want to sip it super cold. So the ice in the Arizona sun, you guys are other places as well, but in the Arizona sun, we'd have to keep that in the freezer.
Yeah, that's a good point. And so that's the perfect pool.
By the pool, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Cheers to that. Oh, that means we have to drink. Okay, you guys too. Cheers to all of you. We're toasting you. This is the tasting room at Medieval, and oh my gosh, we've had so much fun there in the past. We've been there several times and visited them. That's Santi, and he's actually the winemaker. Lorena is the assistant director at Medieval, and she's just so adorable. I mean, she was very serious in the video because I would be too.
Yeah.
And without you here, I would be like, okay. But oh my gosh, she's so adorable, and going to visit them, it's been really incredible. And if you haven't, and there's a picture of the grapevines too, where it just grows, kind of like a bush, but those are very, very old vines. If you see how thick the root is on that one, you'll be able to tell that these are at least like 75 or older vines, which adds to the fruit. So the older the vine, the older the root, the more dense and intense the fruit is going to be, because you have greater concentration. You have less production, you have way less bunches per vine or stem as a younger vine, but you have more concentration of fruit, and that's where you get all of this fruit from, because it's from these much older vines, which is really great. And I can't say enough about this winery. I just think they're, well, one of my favorites, but who isn't my favorite that we carry? People always ask me, they say, "Oh, Lisa, what's your favorite?" I'm like, well, whatever's in my glass.
Well, what day is it?
Yeah, exactly. So whenever, and as you know, I 99.9% of the time only drink our wines. One of the reasons is, and you can drink a bottle or two by yourself and still wake up and function the next day.
Chipper as a lark.
Yeah. Who's done that before, right?
Yeah.
Guilty as charged. But anyway, so we just, love it. It's incredible. I hope you do too. Okay, so have we heard from anybody? Is anybody chatting? I'm curious what people think of the wine so far. Have we had some chat? Has anybody been chatting? Let's see. Oh, let's see. Oh, the chat is disabled. Oh, okay. Maybe Monica or Elisa can work on that. Oh, sorry about the chat was disabled. That's so interesting. But anyway, we'll try to get that. It says that it's working. So anyway, hopefully, oh, there we go. It's enabled now. Okay, bombard us with questions or comments. We want to hear. Sorry about that glitch in the system. It's the first time we've done this in, I don't know, 2 years.
Yeah.
So one of those things.
My first time doing it ever.
Yeah, exactly. See, much easier here than trying to chat and drink at the same time. Oh my gosh. But anyway, and we have, we set up a little charcuterie board. We don't want to necessarily eat on camera, but cheese to me, or salami, is the best palate cleanser. I hope you all got my email, recommending to make a little cheese platter and have some munchies to nibble on. Sandy, there we go. Hi. Sandy and Brian from Nevada, they have been longtime clients, probably at least 20 years or so. And they join, I think, almost every virtual tasting that we had when we were doing them in 2020.
Oh, Lizette loves the bubbly.
Oh,
I knew that when Maria and Veronica had come in, and they said, "Oh, we have to get some for Livette as well."
Oh,
I told Maria and Veronica, I said, "You love the world's best Merlot sweet, so just trust me, you're going to love the bubbly."
Yeah.
And so it looks like they did.
Yeah,
Great.
that is so good. Oh my gosh. And they're our newest client.
Yeah.
Out of everybody who's joining us today, they're our newest clients. So cheers to you. Yes. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us and loving the wines. And up to you.
Got to sip after the cheers.
Oh yeah, exactly. So, but if you've ever wanted to go to Spain, feel free to reach out to me. You all have my email, you all have my cell phone, and oh my gosh. So, can we go back to that picture 1 second, Lisa? I want to show you something that's super cool. So if you see in the middle on the bottom, that's my typical picture of half of my face. Cut out one of my chipmunk cheeks, but that we're standing in front of the river called Oja. And that's actually where the name Rioja comes from. It's from the Rio, or meaning river, Oja. Yeah, isn't that so cool? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. When you look at what region the wine is from, I didn't realize the Rioja region is Rio.
Yeah. So hopefully you all learned something new. That's us having lunch. Oh my gosh, so many good times. They really, really do a great job. Oh my gosh, it's a food fest.
Yeah,
and that's a lot of our tours, and maybe you get to go this year for the first time. But a lot of our tours, it's not just about wine. I mean, yes, it's a lot about wine, and we do drink wine, from morning till whenever you pass out. But the thing is that it's a lot about food too, and that's part of the fun. It's part of the culture, is the food. And a lot of a few of the people who are joining us today have been on tours with us and they can totally attest to it. So it's really good. And then that on the bottom left, that's Deb. And we're doing a barrel tasting right there. So,
cool.
Santi just, withdrew some wine and is pouring and
Just
put it
straight
in-
from the barrel.
straight from the barrel.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, super cool, super cool. So that's really fun, and other fun pictures, everybody eating and drinking, have a good time.
Oh, I recognize some of those people.
Yeah. Let's see on the bottom. Yeah, there's Ross and Linda and Betty and Pat and Malcolm and Macrina, and Sue, and you probably met Sue on the right-hand side at the Carefree show.
I think I did, yeah.
And Denise. So anyway, lots of Dale and Macrina have been on every trip. Ross and Linda, oh my gosh.
You guys have seen Dale because he's the delivery guy.
Oh, yeah. In Arizona, we have private delivery, so it's good. All right, well, so that's a little bit about that rosé. I'm starting to feel a little warm in here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have my fan going on because most of you know I can't live without.
Well,
that.
rosé all day.
Yep, rosé all day. So we're going to move on to the white now. So now we're going to Portugal. If you haven't been to Portugal, another one of my favorite countries.
So bad.
You know, it's so funny. Everybody always goes to Italy first. That's the
Mhm.
first go-to, you know, and that was my first go-to.
Yeah.
And excuse me. And so and that was my first love, if you will,
Mhm.
in Europe. But then you go to Portugal and you're like, oh my gosh, it's a toss-up. I mean, but Spain's a toss-up too. They're all a toss-up. Croatia, Greece, you know, you name it. Germany, you know, I mean.
Book me for all of them.
Okay,
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, let's go for like 3 or 4 months and go
Okay,
to all the
okay.
countries.
That sounds great. And drink all their wine.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm gonna go ahead and pour this one. Oh, I should let you pour. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, it's the, you know.
You're
the
perfect.
Yeah, you would. And, you know, on top of the bottle, you know, like that. I can't wait to get to the next one. And I don't know if you noticed, but you know, when I'm doing a tasting, I always just pour a little bit, you know, about 2 or 3 ounces, something like that. That way you can swirl it without like totally splashing it everywhere. I've had that happen before at tastings. And I always say we taste now and drink later.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because that way you know, get a feel for the wine. Your taste buds aren't totally like wiped out by the
Right.
first bottle. And if you drink a whole bottle already, that's okay.
That's
But
fine too. We don't get mad about that.
yeah, exactly. If you can't swirl like this, you know, a lot of people can't swirl like that.
I'll splash it all over. That's why I do mine on the table.
Yeah. And you just take your 2 fingers, put it like this, and go like this, and make a little like hula hoop. And then and if you do the whoop whoop whoop, then that
Really adds to the wine. That adds to it. That adds to it.
oh my gosh. And you know, when you sip, you know, it's swirl, sniff, savor. No, sip,
But savor.
sip. Well, we change it to savor.
Okay.
Sip, savor. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we're
We
not-
don't.
Yeah, we're not.
We already talked about it. So anyway, but
I
When-
get a very crisp in the scent.
yeah, it has a little like floral.
Yeah,
essence
a
to
little
it.
floral essence.
Some fruit. What fruit? Kiwi. You know, I'm not a big fruit person, so it's hard. I know, shocker. But as you know, I'm not vegetables either. So, but there's some beautiful fruit in there. Maybe a little like ripe pineapple.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I can taste a little, or smell a little tanginess, tanginess, yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is about this one that's so interesting. So this is Gouveio, Vizinho, and Muscatel. And the Muscatel is what you really notice right up front in the nose. And there's only 10% of Muscatel,
Mhm.
but it really is prevalent in the nose, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't end up being too sweet.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this one. I love that it's not oaked,
Yeah.
so it's stainless steel, so it adds a little minerality to it that I really enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. Cheers. To all of you. Take a sip. Pour it and take a sip. Oh my gosh. And it's so interesting because in the nose, you totally think it's going to be sweet.
Right,
But
but
then
it
it's
ends
not.
up not being.
Yeah. And like you said, it's crisp.
Mhm.
It's a little bit dry. So this is really great with like creamier cheeses. If you have an oilier kind of fish, like well, your mahi last night.
Oh,
I mean,
my
that
mahi
would've
last
been-
night would have been great with this, yeah.
Definitely.
I had a blackened mahi.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, you know, I mean, fortunately for all of you, you can buy it right from us. There's a QR. Thanks, Lisa, for putting that up. But the other thing is that, that's the hard part is you have the wines that you love at home and, our wines, and then you go to a restaurant and you have to order like their wine.
Yeah.
And that's not always. And that's why, I always, I've converted to eating at home more. I mean, you like to cook.
I like to cook a lot. Yeah.
What do you ever like?
I do salmon a lot,
Mm.
as far as fish, but chicken, obviously with this chicken or seafood,
Mhm.
shrimp tacos.
Oh,
great.
with like a papaya or some sort of
Like a mango
mango.
salsa.
Yeah, good one. I
Yeah,
like that
that would be
idea.
really good with this.
Because at Costco, not
Yeah.
to shout out Costco,
No.
but I think they make either a papaya or a
It's
mango
a mango
salsa.
salsa.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, in the
Well,
summer.
I make mine by myself.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, give them the quick recipe. Give them the rundown.
It's just like mango, tomato, purple onion. You can put green onion if you'd like, jalapeno, some garlic, and some citrus.
Oh my God. Okay, I might eat that.
You might do vegetables.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, I did. I have had that before, but not your version. I bet yours is.
You gotta come over.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And speaking of coming over, a lot of you live in Arizona. I know Brian and Sandy live in Nevada and then part-time in Florida too. And sometimes they come to Arizona. If any of you ever want to come to Arizona, I have a tasting room. Gwen's been to my tasting room before and she lives in Ohio. But if ever you're in Arizona, let us know because Adine and I both live in Arizona. I don't have pictures of my tasting room. I didn't even think about putting that up there. But anyway, if you want to come and
Set up a private tasting.
yeah,
Visit with us.
yeah, and eat and drink with us. I mean, what better way to spend a
That's the best
vacation,
part.
right?
This job is awful.
I know. I remember when I first started, I did a show called the Carefree Art and Wine Festival. Oh, that's Rosario. She is the winemaker, but she's not into pictures either. So she, it's all about the wine. But anyway, and I remember I was doing the Carefree Art and Wine Festival, and we were slammed. We were so busy. Oh my gosh, you've done the shows with me now. And we keep that there 1 second, Elisa. The vineyards, and I want to tell them a little bit about that. But anyway, so we are so busy, and about 4 o'clock, Hans is like, Lisa, he goes, why don't you take a break? Go get a glass of wine or get a beer, or, do something. This is my very first show 22 years ago. And he goes, just go relax for a little bit. And I'm like, oh, this is meant for me. I'll never forget.
Yeah. I mean, you do that for me too. She'll say, okay, shift is over. Go ahead and sit down.
Yeah.
Relax for a little bit while we pack up. And it's very nice.
Yeah.
Have a glass.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Option.
Yeah.
If you're the DLC watching. Anyway, one of the things that's so fascinating about Portugal now is we're going to show you a picture of vineyards in Portugal. And look at this. It is so incredible. If you look, all over, you'll see that it's terraced. If you look at the middle picture, for instance, you can see the terraces. That's a really good shot of how it's terraced. And then on the right, you'll see how, they're the lines and all of that kind of stuff. And the thing about the Douro Valley is that, obviously, as you can see, there's mountains on each side, and then the Douro River flowing down the middle of these mountains. And so they had to terrace the hillsides in order to keep the water flowing, straight down into the river. So then the vines can absorb the water more.
It reminds me a little bit when you're from Arizona or lived in Arizona, we have monsoons.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of reminds me of like where I grew up in Tucson, it's a basin.
Oh,
so
yeah.
when it does monsoon and all the water goes straight down to the basin. So here they're avoiding that, right? In building the terraces so the water can
absorb along the hillside
instead of just settling in the river.
That's a very, very good point.
That's interesting.
And then we also have a picture of the vineyard, and I'm going to show you. Oh, well, there's the wine barrel. So when you come to Portugal, we have 2 Portugal tours. So depending on the type of tour that you're looking for and the experience, when I do the Portugal tour, we stay in these wine barrels if they're available. They're really hard to get.
I bet. Look at that.
It's not always a guarantee, but it's exciting when it happens.
And you stayed in there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
wow.
And it's this round bed that actually reminds me of an old Vegas bed with a quarter machine. Not that I ever used one of those. You know? So anyway, and it has AC and a full bathroom, a bathroom shower and all of that kind of stuff. And then a deck, and then that's your view. So
Oh, wow.
can't get much better than that.
Right.
And then we all have one, and then we all, drag our chairs together and hang out on. Oh, it's great. Judith is actually joining us, and who else? I guess that's it. She went there last year with me, and we said, oh, we had so much fun. Oh my gosh. And then you get breakfast in that bed, your barrel. Oh, it's incredible.
Lovely.
Yeah.
All right, sign me up.
So, okay. I'm booking 2025 right now.
Okay.
So then we have another picture actually of the vineyard, and I want to show you the position. Oh, well, there's us at the vineyard. So that's the train that goes by, which you can take the train all the way from Porto to where? Pino. You can take the train from Pino. Oh, we lost that picture. How we can't find the picture of the winery. Anyway, we lost it. But one of the things that's super unique about the winery is the positioning. So the hillside is this is actually taking from down at the base of the winery. So you see the Douro River on the left, and there's just a little bit of water right there where it pulled in. But there's another river called the Serra River, and that's where the name comes, Serra, from the winery, the wines that they make for us. And so you have this tributary that comes into the Douro River. And by doing that, you have their vineyards are south and southwest facing. And the advantage of that is it gets the best sunlight, and you get reflection from two rivers. Oh. And reflection is super important when it comes to the maturation of the vine, the grapes and all of that kind of stuff. And so because you get these different angles at different times of the day, and it's just really quite fascinating. So what a fun experience it would be. Oh yeah, it is an incredible view to wake up to. The wine barrel, Linda and Ross,
Right,
Linda joined. Oh yeah, they went there too. Oh my goodness, that was incredible. Oh my gosh. But who loves this wine? Who could drink this wine all day, every day, right? So yeah. Okay, you'll see us raising our hand. Oh my gosh. But and this wine, again, with a fish, a chicken, like you said, a light pasta would be nice, an orzo pasta, maybe with some spinach. Oh yeah, that would be really good. Like, we're making ourselves hungry. Are you hungry too? So that's great. Well, we have just a few minutes left. So get your chats in. I'm going to talk a little bit more about how to order and all of that right now. But if you have any questions, you can ask us right now. Also, in a few minutes, when we stop going live, we are going to do our little after party, which is a lot of fun. So that's where you can click the raise hand at the bottom of your screen. And then we can actually see you at that point, because we haven't been able to see you the whole time. And we're trying not to look at us either.
Yeah,
so
you just have to stare at us.
But there's a couple ways to order. And we have a couple of QR codes, which we're going to put on the screen. And again, as a reminder, since you joined us today, then you get $30 off on your order. You just have to type in the code SIP in capitals 30. And that's your order code to get $30 off. The upper QR code is the Venera website. And so you can go directly to our website, order, all you want. You can get full cases, which I highly recommend. If you like the bubbly, get a full case.
Can I have my phone so I can order right now?
Yeah, exactly. And as a reminder, what we have in inventory, which is about maybe 110 or 120 cases, I can't remember, is all that we have, if we even have that. And that goes back because we have thousands of clients.
Weren't we out of this for a while?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
About a year ago, we were out for a couple of, we've had it, a few months. We've only had it a few months, as a matter of fact. And that's the thing is it's not made every year. It's not like milk, it's not going to spoil. So you can order a couple of cases and just keep it stashed in a cool place. You know,
Yeah.
I used to keep it in my closet under my staircase. I mean, I have a wine fridge now, true. But that's
Back
constant.
when you kept it under your
Yeah.
staircase.
So my wine fridge only holds 150 bottles, and I like to have more than that. I mean, that's just like,
150 bottles.
oh, I used to have this one customer one time, and I still have her, I should say, but she's like, Lisa, she goes, the whole side wall in my bedroom is stacked with cases.
I love her.
Oh, I know, I love her. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, let's get some more, right?
Yeah, right. We're having over to drink it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I know some people who'll have you over. So
Oh, yeah.
So that's good. The lower QR code I forgot to even mention was the link to me, I think, to contact me. So it's okay, you know, and that's also a link to order directly from me if you want. So if you're in, it doesn't matter, you can do either one. You know, all the wine comes from right here in Venera. So yeah, we're at the warehouse today.
Yeah.
So,
It was really great to visit the warehouse. It was awesome to
oh
meet
yeah.
meet everybody in person, most everybody, and just see where all of the wines that I love come
Yeah,
from.
yeah, exactly. Wait till you go to Germany.
Oh yeah,
Where they
well,
really
yeah, see where they originate.
Yeah.
But then, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. And then I want to say a shout out. I want to choose Elisa and Monica for being the behind the scenes
Yes.
here today, because cheers. We
Cheers.
have to sip. So cheers to them, everybody. Take a sip.
They're great.
Because we wouldn't be able to do this without them. Oh my gosh, I did try to do a Zoom from the tasting room on my own. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
But Elisa and Monica is managing the chat. Elisa is managing the pictures and making sure that we look good. So we really appreciate them. But most of all, let's cheers another time to all of you, because without all of our customers, I wouldn't be here, Adine wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't have the best jobs in the world. So cheers to all
Cheers.
of you. Sip again. So now in just a few seconds, we're going to be signing off of Facebook and stopping the video. And we look forward to seeing all of you. So if you raise your hand in just a few minutes, and not even a few minutes, a few seconds, we're gonna get to see you and have what we call our after party for a few minutes and see what everybody's favorite wine was.
Yeah.
So thank you again for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Whether we're on Facebook or on Zoom, you know, and we look forward to doing more of these with you again. You know, this is a lot of fun.
This was fun. Yeah.
Did you make it through?
Yeah, I was very nervous, but I feel okay now.